Hello everyone, let's continue our lecture from week 4. In this lecture, we are going to talk about how to join tables. Queries can actually be located data from more than one table. We have to enter the appropriate conditions in the where clause. To join the table, we use the select clause, and also we are using the from clause, which will list all the tables that are involved in our query. We also might use where clause to give the condition that will restrict the data to be retrieved to only those rows from the two tables that matches. So let's see how we can join tables in Microsoft Access using the SQL. In this example here, we want to list the number, name of each customer together with the number, last name, and first names of the sales rep who represent the customer, and order the records by customer number. So we are going to look at select, all the data that we need to select because we want a number, name, and also we wanted the rep information. Well, if you recall from the TAL database, the rep table is separate from the customer tables. Basically, the rep information is stored in a separate table. So that's why in here we get customer name and number, because we only see it in the customer table. So we don't specify which table we are getting it. But here the rep number is in two tables. Is both in the customer table as well as the rep. So we are specifying it, rep.rep number, because we want to get this rep number from the table rep. And then the last name and first name are from rep table. But we don't have to specify it because they're only in that rep table. They're not in customer table. Then we use the from, and we put the name of our two tables, customer and rep. These are the name of our tables. And then we put the condition that we want to join the tables together. So where customer.rep number equals to rep.rep number. This is a condition. This rep number is common in both of the two tables. So we can join the two tables by something that's common in both of them. And rep number is common. So we say customer.rep number equals to rep.rep number. So we have to specify which table we are getting the rep number from. And then the question asks us to order the records by customer number. So that's why here we are using order by customer num. So let me show you how you can actually use this in the Microsoft Access. Okay, as you can see here, I went to create, I went to the query design, and then I chose the table that I wanted, the customer and rep table. So we could have just, show the tables here. So I chose customer and rep and say add. And automatically when I do that, you see that it's going to be joined by something that is common in both tables, and that's rep number. Rep number is a primary key in rep table, and it's a foreign key in the customer table. We will explain more about the keys in other chapters. So in here, of course, all of you know how to bring them, how to actually put the fields here and how to do it from Microsoft Access. But we want to use SQL. So that's why I'm going to right click here and go to SQL view. And as you can see, the select already created a join for us. But we want to actually write it from scratch. So I'm going to say select customer num, customer name, rep.rep num, last name, first name. These are the fields that we want to see. Remember why we are bringing this rep.repnum is because the rep number is in both tables, the customer table as well as rep number. So that's why we wrote it there. And then we are going to use, select. This is the select clause. Then we are going to say from which table, customer and rep. So we put the name of our table here. And then we put our condition where customer dot repnum equals to rep dot repnum. This is how we are going to write our join. When I use Microsoft Access to create the tables, it already created something called inner join, but we don't for now, that because we are learning the SQL, this is the way that we write it. And then another question was you want to order it by customer now. So that's how we have it. And then semicolon at the end. And then we are going to actually go and run it. Run. And here you go. So you see we are getting both from the customer table as well as the rep table. So we are joining two tables together. Okay, let's do another example. Let's say we want to have all these name and number of the customer, but also we want to add another condition. We want to get the customers whose credit limit is 10,000 and higher. And also we want to show the rep number, last name, and first name as well. So we want to add another condition here. So where would we add another condition? So we have our select statement. We have our table, and then we have where we have our join, the condition that joins the table. So we want to add another condition that we want to only see the customers whose credit limit is greater than 10,000. So we can add another condition here by just putting and credit limit is equals to 10,000. And then we can run this. So now you can only see the ones whose credit limit is equals to $10,000. So that's our condition here. Okay, now what is union? Union of two tables is a table containing all rows in the first table, the second table, or both tables. The two tables that are involved must be union compatible. What does that mean? That means they should have same number of fields. Also, the corresponding fields must have the same data type. So the corresponding field, they should have the same data type as well. Okay, let's look at the example for union now. In here, we want to list the number and name of all customers that are represented by sales rep 35 or that currently have taken orders on file or both. So we are looking at two different criteria. We can use simple or condition. Instead, we can create a table containing the number and name of all customers that are represented by the rep 35 by selecting customer numbers name from the customer table in which the sales rep number is 35. Then we can create another table containing the number and name of every customer that currently has orders on file by joining the customers and order table. The two tables that we are creating by this process have the same structure, field name, customer number, and the customer name. And therefore, these tables are union compatible. So let's see how we are doing it here. So we are saying we are writing two queries here. First query, we select customer number, customer name from customer table where rep is equals to 15. And we are using the union operator, and we are using another query. We are selecting customer number. Remember why we are using this? Because customer number is in more than one table. So that's why you have to specify which table we are getting it from. And customer name from the two tables, customer table as well as order tables. And then we put our condition that we are doing our join. This is the condition for join. Customer.customer numbers equals to orders.customer number. So customer number is common in both orders table as well as customers table. So when we do that and we run it, we get this list. So customers of rep 15 or who have orders on file or both. The next thing we are going to cover is about updating tables. So in updating tables, we have three commands. Update command, which makes changes to existing data. Insert command, which adds new data into our table. And delete command, which deletes data from our database. Okay, let's do an example. Let's say we want to change the street address of customer 524 to this address, 445 River. So how do we do that? I'm actually going to show you in Access with this SQL queries how we are doing that. So I'm going to use update command that we just learned. And we are going to say update. What are we updating? We want to update the customer table. And what are we changing? With update, we use set. Set street. We want to change the street name to 1445 River. Where customer num is equals to 524. So we are changing the street name for customer 524. So we are using the update and then set. This is how we want to change the street name and where we want to change it for the customer 524. And then we can say run. And it says you are about to update 0 rows. It should have said 1 row. So I'm gonna just go and check. Maybe I already changed the address before. So I'm gonna check. I don't have a customer 524. That's why it didn't change it. Okay, let me change another customer. So let's go back here. We want to do this for customer 126. I don't have a customer 524. I just 126. And we are going to run it again. And it says now you are about to update 1 row. We want to say yes. So now if I go back to my customer table, I can see that the customer 126, the street got changed to 1445 River. Is add a new sales rep to the rep table. So we want to add this new sales rep, which her number is 16, her name is Sharon, her address is 826 Raymond. And she hasn't earned any commission, but her commission rate is basically 5%. We want to add that. So how do we add a new record? Okay, let's go back to our query. So how do we do this? Instead of update, we want to use the command that's called insert into. Insert into, and we want to add a new rep. So we want to actually insert it into the rep table. And what are we adding? So we are adding a bunch of different fields. So we can just use something like this command, values, and then open parentheses, 16, that's the first character, her number, and then we want to add her name and last name. Her last name is Rand. Her first name is Sharon. Her address is 826 Raymond. So 826 Raymond is her address, the name of the street. And then we want to use the city, Bradenton. And then we want to also put the state, Florida. And then we want to also add the zip code. Another field that we want to add is the commission that she has earned. She hasn't earned anything, so we just put 0 in there. And then the commission base rate is 0.5%. And then we're going to close the parentheses. So the fields that we are going to add, we are just going to write it as values, and then we are going to use each field and separate them with comma. And then we can just say run. And it says you are about to append one row. Do we want to do that? Yes, we want to insert this into the rep table. We want to say yes. So I'm going to go to my rep table now and see if this is added. So we are going to our rep table, and as you can see, this rep number 16, Rand, Sharon, everything that I just did is added to this table. So we use the insert into command to insert a new row into our table. The next command is a delete command. So let's say we want to delete row from a table. So we use the delete from which table? The order line table. And what are we deleting? We are putting the condition there, where item number equals to DL51. So let's try this in SQL and run it. So in this example, we want to delete from order line table where item number equals to MT03. So we are writing this and we are going to run it. It says you are about to delete one rows from this specific table. Do you want to do it? We say yes. So if I go to my order line table, you see that it got deleted. Sometimes you see that it shows deleted, sometimes it just deletes it. So that MT03 is deleted from this table. The last thing that we are going to talk about is creating a table from a query. We are using into clause and save the result of a query as a table, and we specified before from and a where clause. So let's try to use the into clause to create a new table in MySQL command. So we can use select star means we want everything, into this new table name. The name of our table is a small cost. From which table? From the customer table, and then we put our condition here. So let me just do this here. So I'm going to go to write it here. So in here we want to create a new table named small cost, consisting of all the fields that the customer table had, and we want to actually have a condition where credit limit is smaller and equals to 7,500. So let's say select a star because we want everything, and then we use the into command, and then we put the name of the new table, which we say we want it to have to be a small cost. From which table? From customer table, and the condition is where credit limit is smaller than equal to 7,500. And we are going to run it. Oh, it's semicolon. So it says you are about to paste 8 rows into our new table. We say yes, we want it. So as you can see, a table is here. Our new table is called small cost, and it has everything that the customer table had. So it's having the same field as customer table. Let's look at some of the summary of the SQL commands that we have covered in this chapter. So we basically use the Access version of the SQL. Some of the syntax could be different a little bit in MySQL or Oracle or the SQL Server. So we said, what is SQL? SQL is a structured query language that is used to manipulate relational databases. It's a simple language. It's English-based command. Basic format in SQL query is select from where. We need to have the from, which is the name of the table, and then the where, the condition. We use create table command to describe the table layouts into our database management systems. In SQL, the retrieval command is basically you list the fields after the select command. And then the table are listed after from command, and condition are listed after the where command. We talked about compound condition, which are formed by combining simple condition using either or both of the operators, such as and or. We talked about sorting, that we have to use the order by clause. And then we talked about when the data is being sorted in more than one field, can have a major and a minor sort key. We also said we can use grouping by using group by clause, and having clause restrict the rows to be displayed, and it goes with that. We talked about joining tables, use a condition that relates matching rows in tables to be joined. So we should have a matching row in both two tables to actually use the join condition. And then we talked about the built-in functions such as count, sum, average, max, and min. We also talked about the union operator, which unifies the result of the two queries. Also, we talked about some updating our tables using insert, update, which changes the existing data, and delete, which deletes the record. We also talked about into clause, which is being used in a select command to create a table containing the result of our query. I hope you have enjoyed this week's lecture, and in my next video I'm going to show you the MySQL the W3 School's website and how you can practice your SQL skill. Have a great night. Bye-bye.